Um, they had to have Chloe in it and Lionel too, because those two are original characters that are just so synonymous with the show, and again, two of the better characters on the show. Lionel, is whenever he shows up on screen, the show just lights up, and Chloe Allison Mack is just very endearing, but she's not as peppy as she was in the 10th season. You can some people are going to put that up to character development, but really what I think it is just Allison Mack is tired of playing Chloe. She's gone to too many Comic Cons, had too many creepy fans throwing bricks through her windows. She's ready to go, but she's obviously trying and having fun with her last hurrah. There's just she always got the worst lines in the show, and there's this one really, really bad line. I don't even remember, but I remember it's basically a dryer metaphor, and she ends it on this sing-song note, and it's almost like she's saying, "Okay, guys, this is my last one. Enjoy it." I have to say, as bad as the line was, and it was terrible. I can't even remember it because I just forcibly blocked it from my mind. I had to laugh because it was just kind of just. It's one of those bittersweet things about Smallville leaving. It's that it's so bad, and I'm glad it's not going to darken my mindset anymore. But it's something that was kind of a part of my childhood in the weirdest, most destructive way. But I there was this melancholy going into it because I'm not going to be able to legitimately complain about Tom Welling being a terrible Superman anymore. I'm not going to be able to complain that it's taken a decade for Clark to become Superman, or for any of this, and that really makes me sad in a weird way. But but watching the last 10 minutes of the show just angered me so much, and I am glad we're not going to see anymore because this was a terrible show. And here's the thing. All the time wasting I was talking about. 2-hour finale. All the time wasting that was done with the nonsense character conflict and them padding it out with all these flashbacks. And the ending conflict is one of the most disappointing things I've ever seen on TV. And I'm not even just talking about Clark not putting on the Superman costume. And nobody ever calls him Superman. Lois doesn't even ever say, "Oh, he's a Superman." He just kind of puts, he's just kind of there. And, the fight with him and Darkseid, which they have been building up this entire season, is seriously just Clark finally learns how to fly suddenly, and it's terrible effects. I mean, you can only expect so much out of network television these days, but I was expecting better than Xena effects, at least. He magically learns how to fly and gets his self-esteem, and then he flies right through Darkseid, who is possessing Lionel at that point. Flies right through him, and that's done. And it kills Lionel too. Apparently, because in the Smallville universe, Clark will straight up just kill dudes, because that's the kind of show this is. Because Smallville, having our cake and eating it too for 10 years. Yeah, that was really dumb. And then he goes to the Fortress of Solitude and plugs back in Jor-El's voice computer. Jor-El's in the show, and he is just a computer who dicks around with Clark and is a total asshole to him. Which is why Clark unplugged him this episode, but then was convinced to re-plug him in. Again, more time wasting. And then Jor-El gives him the costume, and, not to get into too much about my ideas about the Superman mythology, but this is kind of one of the symbols of how Smallville gets it wrong, and how a lot of people writing Superman are getting it wrong, and that everything attached to Superman has to be mythic. Everything attached to it has to have some super serious symbolism, and has to be connected to his Kryptonian lineage, and blah, blah, blah. And I really don't think that. I don't think the Superman symbol should be the Order of Ra or anything. What I think is Superman should not wear the costume because it means something. The costume should mean something because Superman wears it. Superman is a symbol, but Superman's a symbol because of what he does. And in this show, it's very much the opposite. Superman does what he does because of where he comes from, these symbols he's given, and that really undermines what makes Superman great. And so, we've got that whole thing where Darkseid, one fly-through punch, kills Lionel. That's really dumb. And then he gets the costume from Jor-El. That's really dumb. You never actually see him in the costume. You get the CGI shots and you get the face shots with the cape blowing behind. That's really dumb. And there's Apocalypse floating. Apocalypse. Sorry, I didn't mention that before, but the entire time Apocalypse has been hurtling towards Earth. Its entire planet. And all these people on Earth are possessed by Darkseid. They've got the Omega symbol. What happens is Superman just flies by. He's Superman now, I guess. He just flies by, and suddenly they're magically not possessed by Darkseid just by seeing a dude flying, even though we've had Hawkman and Booster Gold and Supergirl and all these people. But no, this guy flying. Yeah, this guy flying is what inspires them. Fuck all those other guys. They had to have wings, or they had a 2X chromosomes or whatever. They magically get inspired. I was expecting Tom Welling to be in the suit and give this really awesome speech. And then people would be inspired, and that would drive Apocalypse away, and that would have been really cheesy, but it would have worked more than just him pushing it away, which is what he does. He just pushes it away, again, this is kind of just I don't know why I was so surprised by these things, but this is so synonymous with Smallville. It's all this malarkey, these character interactions that are really minuscule and pointless, and then these tacked on supernatural elements, these tacked on superhero elements that are just completely disappointing and feel like cock blocks. And if you watch I watched this hoping that I guess him being in the Superman costume, it would actually be a big Superman thing, and Darkseid, probably the penultimate villain of Superman, Lex and Darkseid, hand in hand, but I was hoping for a real drag-out fight, I guess, and obviously I didn't get that, and I don't know why I should ever have expected that from Smallville, but there you go. I'm naive, and that's the thing. That's, I guess, why I've been watching it on and off for 10 years. I had a girlfriend who watched Smallville. I never told her that I watched it on and off for 10 years because it was more fun to make fun of her, actually. I'm a terrible person. But, that was all really dumb. And, I guess that's the whole thing with Smallville. I always really wanted to like it. I always was really hoping that there'd be cool superhero stuff going on, and it always just disappointed me. Let's see if I can find some things I liked about it. John Glover as Lionel Luthor was cool. And again, Michael Rosenbaum wasn't too bad. It was really bad. I guess it didn't punch me in the face. Okay, let me think. Here's one thing I liked. I was thinking they were going to start the show off with the Superman score, make it a bit more epic in scope, but no, they kept the Remy Zero song, the Somebody Save Me song. I mean, 10 years again, but every time I hear that, somebody save me, I crack up because it's just so bad. And taking that out of Smallville would have been to deny what Smallville is. And that is gut-wrenchingly, hilariously, and occasionally wonderfully enjoyably terrible. And you know, and that's the biggest disappointment of the Smallville finale. It didn't reach the heights that Smallville can reach, and that is just to be wonderfully terrible. And I was hoping for wonderfully terrible, and I did not get it. And that is why I am so angry, and why I am laughing now. Because I wanted something terrible, and I just got boring. And there you go. And I've wasted enough of your time. Good night.